Oh, I'm just enjoying this wondrous um, sunset at Rio Del Mar beach. It's been an extraordinary day. I am ever so grateful for all of the things that were experienced right down there on the beach in the sun. And oh my God, it's just been such a gloriously wondrous day. And the point of turning on the camera right now, along with just showing how gorgeous all this is to record what I was thinking about as I was standing here with my feet in the sand and drinking in the wonderful air and feeling connection. And what's been happening all day is just a hyper clarity of essentially the truth of us. And I was just going through all the different ways that I could word form what this experience is. How do I say what this experience feels like and is like? And as I thought about that, and then I looked at the reality of what I experience, it's purely, as I say all the time, to as many who as are open, is that which is providing everything that we see and experience through all of our senses, that the totality of that is a reality that we live in, along with the reality that this vantage point is seeing all of this amazing beauty and sound and smell and everything. And for me, as a little boy hearing that, in my words, it's the beloved's great pleasure to provide for us the living experience of heaven. That just slipped into me when I first heard it in Bible talk. But what that felt like as truth to me is that which is making everything into existence, here, there, anywhere, throughout eternity and infinity, that energetic reality that is providing everything we see, everything I see right now, this extraordinary, the birds flying around, the sunlight, oh the God, the kids playing football. There's some people behind me with their stereo on dancing, and I mean, look how heavenly this is. I've been walking on this beach all day long having conversations with people about how heavenly this is. Man, everybody is so into chiming in on that topic. It's been a lot of fun. But as I analyze why everything is the way it is for me, it truly is that the fact that I'm aware of, hey, that looks like fun. The fact that I'm aware that the totality of the dynamic between there being something to see and feel and taste and touch and smell and sense with our senses, something that rubs up against us in every way, that is a reality that's presenting itself to us as the experiencer of all of that. The sight of it, the sound of it, the movement of it, the cuteness of it, the feeling of this. That which is feeling the beauty is that which is seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, feeling. So there's a duo here. And I relate to that which is making the entirety of the duo possible. But I say from within that duetic reality that is our life as a vantage point, as Dennis Maurice Swenson or Vinicio Alegria Heavenson, I live this truly as a gift. I bought into what I felt was being said and have since come to know in ever so many beautiful ways the truth of the fact that it is our beloved's great pleasure to provide for us the living experience of heaven. And what I've been thinking about, well, what I've been experiencing all day is that presentation of heaven is all around us. Heaven's palette is everything just as it is. This is the only palette heaven's got. And we, as a receptive vehicle with all the senses to pick all of this up, are having an experience. And there's many purposes for this experience. I've been writing about that, or sharing some of my writings recently, about the choices we make and the rechoicing and the deepening of appreciation and all the stuff that we gain from this life experience. But the point of my wanting to make a recording was there's certain things that I do passionately, automatically, easily to open and be more awake to the love affair between this, everything that's being seen, and this, the seer. I so appreciate the beauty in ever so many ways of everything I see and feel about what I'm seeing. The feeling of beauty, I love the deepening of that's been happening throughout my life, really. But it happens for all of us, and it's a good thing to know that the ability to feel beauty grows with our openness to it. A lot of times when I take people on, well, when I do it myself, or if I take somebody with me and we're in that mode, I'll invite them to squat down with me and just look at like a 20-inch by 20-inch square at our feet. And just say to that which is making everything possible. Well, I usually have a conversation about the fact that which is making everything possible is omniscient and omnipresent. And that as we all have personalities, it is personal. It's the author of personalities. And, we see lots of roles in life. And, we have to come to grips with the source being divided into Father and Mother, Father Spirit, Mother Matter. That you can live that for a while. But, man, when I heard Jesus say, the greatest thing we can do here in life, and I'll paraphrase it just for how it all sits in me. The greatest thing we can do here is to live in openness to the love that's being provided for us, the gift of heavenly living. Be open to it and experiment with openness, as I've been doing since I was a little boy. Experiment with breathing practices, holding the breath, leaving the breath out. Experiment with body cleansing and enemas and fasting and isolating a bit into a peaceful, quiet circumstance. But just like being here, as it's been thousands of people today, everybody's going home now. There's not that many people left, but earlier here, there was awash with umbrellas and people. It was amazing. But anyway, to be able to experience the gift of heaven in the palette that we're living in, just as it is, this body, this air, this breath, just as it is, whatever it is, allowing heaven to flow freely through all of that. That mantra works so well for me. I allow heaven to flow freely through all I am and all I do. And then the part B to that is, I allow heaven to be made real through all I see, through all I feel. I allow. Yeah. Allowing the infinite possibilities of how heaven can be experienced, allowing, participating with, choosing, proactively engaging in. There's a lot of factors to fully living and being awake to the gift of heavenly living that we are being provided here. How wondrous, really. How wondrous. Anyway, the root of how I experience everything is in what I call a love affair. 100%. I'm in. This is us. May we, my love, be a blessing to all we encounter. May we, my love, create something wondrous that we both will absolutely delight in, as happened yet again today, and the extraordinary conversations that we've had with people, the new connections, and the photo and the beauty. Oh my God, I've seen thousands of potential images today, and I collected a couple of sweet, precious rocks, and so I've really been enjoying the physicality of all of this. But well, I'll tell you, this alignment, this allowance, and then experiencing as the allowance, it's like a form of super nourishment. As we drink in the allowance, we can feel the allowance going all through our body, through our arms, our legs, our stomach, our chest, up our necks and our heads. That allowance that we breathe in, the allowance just like brings food for a hungry plant. You know how plants can go from looking pretty sickly to vibrantly green and healthy and stretching for the light. You know, that's how I see this, is the more we allow the gift of heavenly living to be seen. I've been trying to make my ears bigger, my eyes see more ever since I was a little boy, to try to figure out what God is. And anyway, listening for answers and looking for signs as a boy. But anyway, the point is that all of that matures into understanding why Jesus would say, the greatest thing we can do here is to live in love with God, the beloved, as I call God, with all of our mind, every thought, memory, creative idea, the totality of our imagination and memory and all of mind, to offer all of mind to the beloved in partnership for making choices, seeing possibilities, adjusting motivations. There's a lot of benefits from the partnership that comes. And then there's, with all of heart, which leads to the other part, which is all of body, but all of heart, the passion, the drive, the wanna see more of the beauty that we're living in, to feel more of what we see. That's a worthy goal, to open to feeling more of what we see. Well, I'll go back to something I started to say earlier about having people with me squatting down and looking at a patch, a couple of feet square between our legs. Just look at every single thing in there with an attitude of, may we see more than we've ever seen in this situation before. May these eyes, may I, via my choice to use this physical vehicle to its maximum and more, for seeing what's in front of me and feeling in my heart, feeling in my nervous system, an enjoyment for what I'm seeing. May it mean something in an ever increasingly more beautiful way, that this body that houses the heart that has a passion to see beauty, touch beauty, experience in every way beauty, goodness, everything we would consider heavenly. When we open to that, really open to it, and fully invite it in as a gift, and then fully receive the gift, become a receiver, not just a desirer of, or somebody stuck in the loop of saying yes please or yes may I, but moves on energetically from that mode to just being open and receiving, knowing it's a done deal. We only had to say it once. God is not hard of hearing, but the beloved does appreciate our sincerity, which shows up through us going through lots of experiences and, still having that same desire to see thee more clearly, feel thee more nearly, love with thee more nearly, dearly, really, as deeply felt as possible. Oh, the harmony of awareness, seeing, wanting, desiring, and then choosing and allowing the union. It's a love affair. It's the greatest love affair I know of it, and it affects every other love affair I know in life. It makes them all better, because I know truly what is behind a love affair, what the simplicity that I experienced as an 8-year-old boy being whooshed out of my body into the immersion experience, the infinite field of beingness was mind-boggling. And the experiences that I had of going into, I have no way of recalling what seemed like a very huge number of life forms, and feeling them just like this feels. I became a plant, and that's all I knew, was being a plant, and just drinking in the light and slurping up the juices of the earth. Just that, and this total feeling of presence, wholeness, and also there was this stretching out as far as I could-ness, trying to get as much of the light as possible. There was that was quite a drive, and it created movement, but it was very basic, and I've used that very basicness often throughout my life ever since then, as a way to just be in peace in the moment. I'm a barefooter. Right now I got my feet buried down in the sand, and well, this is my feet. Looks like they created a heart. But being grounded, and oh my God, this ocean air. And certainly the sunlight, the last hour and the first hour of the day, I tell people, allow yourself to gradually become intimate, really, with the energetic input that the sun is. I just wrote about this somewhere today. Somebody asked me a question about the sunlight, and so, should we do it nude? And I say I do as often as it's appropriate. But then there was more than that, and I said, the sun. I gave the analogy that I saw as a little boy. Look at these. What a squadron! Wow, isn't that something? Wow, look, there's that one guy out in the lead. So curious about their their placement, their order. You know, are these two different families? Or, well, they're probably a bunch of families. Anyway, some more. I'm easily distracted with the beauty, but it's okay. I just love to feel the beauty of this wonderful life. And that experience has increased by virtue of just allowing it, focusing on it, allowing it, and then letting it become a great pleasure that's felt, a felt experience pleasure. And I tell everybody to pay attention to what we live into existence here. The experience that we choose and push play on is really our greatest gift to God the Beloved, that's making everything possible. Because being omniscient and omnipresent, what we live into existence is a shared experience, and our gift really to God the Beloved is the quality of this life experience. I pray, Beloved, I say all the time, may I be a blessing to thee, may I be a pleasure to thee in every possibility I allow. Oh my God, that opens up a lot of doorways for just feeling blessed in ever so many ways and ever so many circumstances. My goodness. Well, I think I'm going to turn this off for the moment and consider the rest of the evening. What a blessing all of this is. May we all allow heaven to flow freely through all we are and all we do.